Hey, what's going on? It's Dave again with Dave's Property Services, and I'm back with another video to this time discuss a little bit about marketing a brand new business. So in my last video, I spoke about opening a cleaning or junk removal business, and this time I'll be talking about building or marketing or getting the word out there for this new business, because that was the hardest thing for me initially when I started out. So I figured I can put this type of content out there to help other people like myself who might be looking for different ways to market the business when you're new in the game and you don't have any clientele or any referrals or anyone to give you a reference. So initially, when you're first starting out, the first thing you should be hitting up every day with posts is Craigslist. You should be posting on Craigslist almost every day you get up. It should be in your routine. The way I did it, I got up, I brushed my teeth, I posted on Craigslist, I ate breakfast, and then I took a shower and I got on the road. Every morning, every 24 hours, after I put that post up, I was putting up another one. And I did it from 2 or 3 different accounts. So I was putting up like 6 to 9 posts a day. And that right there in itself, in the beginning, generated a lot of calls, kept my phone ringing here and there, because it rang, but not as often as I would, but it was ringing. I wasn't complaining. After that, I tried doing some cold calls, but calling people and trying to sell them your service over the phone, it's difficult unless you really have the gift, the gab. Trust me, it's hard, and it's very, very discouraging. What works best for me is face-to-face. Face-to-face business and transactions, that works the best. Have them see. It's harder for them to tell you no in your face than it is for them to tell you no over the phone. Trust me. Now, whatever city you live in, when you start out, you should always go through what they call the Chamber of Commerce. Every city has a Chamber of Commerce, and what the Chamber of Commerce is a business-to-business group or a club. It costs to join, but if you just want to go and visit a couple of their events without joining, it'll probably be a fee for each event that you go to. But it's always worth it, and you want to make sure that you always have your business cards with you when you go to these events. That's a good place to go and meet local business owners. If you're doing a junk removal or cleaning business, what you want to do is get in contact with realtors and contractors or anyone dealing with property in general. So that's always a good source to start, is with the Chamber of Commerce. So I always suggest that anyone starting out, no matter what type of business, you could be a realtor, you could be a general contractor, you can be a new business opening up, you can be selling ice cream. It's always good to go through the Chamber of Commerce, because what they'll do is they'll do a ribbon cutting, they'll invite everyone out, and things like that, just to get the word out there so people can know that you exist. That's always a good way to do it. That's how you let people know you're here. You'll meet everyone you want to meet, and sometimes you can always find a mentor. So you probably might meet up with another guy or another woman who's running the same business as you, and just not ask them for help, but learn from how they're moving. You know what I mean? And then next, you want to make sure you have your business cards, like I said. And flyers worked for me. I had business cards, flyers, and door hangers. Now, like I said, starting out, I was out there on foot, putting flyers on cars at Home Depot and Lowe's, going door to door with my door hangers, doing maybe 100 or 200 door hangers a day, just so I can generate these leads. Because if someone sees a door hanger on their door, they're going to read it before they throw it away, because they want to see who was at their door. You know what I mean? So that worked real good for me. As well as that, I got car magnets on my car. So, because I have a work truck with a trailer, so I got magnets for my truck on the side of my truck, and I also have a sign on my trailer right behind me. So whenever I'm in traffic, and people see me rolling with a load or anything like that, they'll say, "Oh, sorry, I might have something for this guy." I usually see people take pictures, and they'll call me later, so which is usually a good thing. So that's all. If you don't have car magnets, you should get them. They're pretty cheap. They're not that expensive, depending on how big or how small you want them. They also have lead apps, which are apps for your phone that can generate leads. If anyone is ever looking for a particular job or a particular service that you offer, like Home Advisor, Angie's List is the one. They have Thumbtack and Home Use. Another tip is yard signs. I use those whenever it is I'm working on a property site, and I don't have my truck there or anything like that, I'll put the yard signs down while I have my guys working. That way, anyone who's driving by and they're interested in who might be working in the house, they can see my sign and give us a call, and then that'll be another way to pick up another client. What also is good is a Facebook business page. If you don't have one, you should get one because it's free. It's a good way to market your business within a however mile radius that you want. You should definitely look into it. It's a free service. You can't be free, especially when you're starting out. Definitely get that. I also got a website in the beginning, but not everyone has the funds to start a website in the beginning. I can tell you that it has looked a little better when people look up my business. They see me online, they'll see me on Craigslist, and then they'll go to my website, and then they'll go to my Facebook business page to see the work that I have, and they'll say, "Oh, okay, I did my research before I hired you, so I knew you would have done a good job." So that's always good because it gives them something to refer back to. I've also put ads out on the local newspaper, the classifieds. That's worked well for me. That's gotten me a lot of calls. The thing about that is the net's so wide when it comes to distributing the newspaper that you get calls outside of the area where you service. So sometimes it's usually a hit or miss, but it's definitely worth trying. It's not that expensive depending on how big you want the ad. That's based how the pricing is. Another marketing tip that I've used was the U.S. Postal Service. They have what's called every door direct mailing. Whenever it is that I've gotten to the point where I can't hand out my flyers anymore, it takes too much time. So what I do is I get my flyers, and once I get my flyers, I'll go to the U.S. Postal Service, pick a route by zip code, how many houses I want to hit, which area I want them to hit, and I give it to them, and they'll hand them out, in the mail with the mail on their route. It saves me a lot of time. It's usually I'm around 150 to 200 bucks depending on how many flyers you want them to send out, but it's definitely worth the investment because off of that 200 that you invest into them handing out the flyers, you can probably lock in 3 to 4 clients if at a minimum and make that money back in no time. I've also joined a referral group called Business Networking International. They go by BNI. You can go online and Google them and see, if it's something that you could be into. It's structured different. I suggest visiting one of their groups first and visit all of their groups first to see if it's something that you can do. Because if you're not a good public speaker, then you should probably not join BNI because it requires speaking in front of the group on a weekly basis. One of the last things I can tell you guys that I have used that's worked good for me is going to all of these trade shows and business networking events that you can find online. I go to all of them, as many as I can, because that's how you get your card out there and you get people to know that you're here and at least give you a referral to someone else to say, "Oh, I got this guy that I met at this show. Here's his card." So it's always good to go to those shows because you can build relationships with other businesses as well. So if you guys have any other questions, leave comments down at the bottom of the video, and you can also follow me on Snapchat, Mr. Ambition.